Hi there, all you brow lovers. Today I'm showing you a tutorial on how I do a brow lamination on a client who has thin and blonde brows. Here I go through all of the tips and tricks and things that you should keep in mind when you're doing a client who may have brows that are a little bit tricky to work with. So go ahead and keep on watching to see how I do my beautiful client's brows, and then go ahead and leave some comments down below on any tips and tricks that you might have. Thanks so much, brow lovers. Today, I am walking you through my brow lamination process with a blonde client that has thin eyebrow hair. First up, I am just showing you the kit that we here at Glad Girl have to offer. It comes with all 3 steps, as well as this cute little card that you can keep on your desk next to you that gives you all of the steps. Here I am just showing you the products that I used off camera to clean my client's eyebrows, just making sure that there is no leftover makeup or oil in the brows that may hinder how well the lamination takes. Here I'm just showing you all of the different tools I used. I have some spoolies, some doe foot applicators, a brow brush, as well as a smaller spoolie that gets into all of those fine little hairs and really works wonders with the brow lift. Here you can see that my client's eyebrows are great, they just don't have a whole lot of shape. So I am brushing through them, making sure that I really like what I am working with, and now I am using our glue. So this glue works great as it helps hold those hairs into place before you put the lift or the lock lotion on. Now you do not have to use this glue, it is totally up to you, to your professional discretion. I prefer and normally will use this glue on clients that have very thin hairs that don't like to move the way I would want them to, and so they need a little bit of help to stick, as well as those overly coarse hairs that are really hard to work with. So those 2 situations would be why I would choose to use this glue. Next up, I am just using this small red spoolie, and I am just very diligently working through those hairs, making sure to push them all straight up. And then after I push them all straight up, I will go back through and I will tame them just a bit, shape them, make sure that arch is nice and rounded or nice and triangular, whatever the client prefers. But first up, I just want to make sure I get all those little hairs up and in place. Here with the glue, you want to make sure that you're putting enough on to keep those hairs in place when you are placing the other 2 solutions, but also make sure that you're not putting too much down, as it can create a barrier that makes the lamination not last quite as long. This is the first solution, and this is our lift solution. So this solution helps break down those bonds and those proteins and cuticles and makes the hair very pliable to work with. And so here I am just making sure that I am saturating the brow root to tip, not getting it on any of the skin, and then I will wait with this particular client 4 to 5 minutes. With someone who has a thicker, more coarse brow, you could wait up to 6 or 7 minutes. And as you have probably noticed, I have decided not to use cling wrap on this particular client. I made this choice because, as I have said earlier, this client has very thin to the touch brows, and they are on the blonder end. So because of those 2 reasons, professionally, I decided to not use it. Cling wrap is used mostly for clients that have thick or coarse hairs, as it helps lock in that heat and it speeds up processing time, helping to really get into those cuticles. All right, those 4 to 5 minutes are up, and now I am just using another doe foot applicator, and I am gently wiping away all of this first solution. I'm being very careful not to move the brows too much, as once you put the next solution, the lock lotion, on, those brows are stuck in place. Here you can see I've already done 1 brow, so I'm on to the next. Like I said, this is the lock lotion. So just like the name is implying, this lotion locks these brows into place. So this is going to rebuild all of those cuticles and bonds in the hair, and now the hair is going to want to live in this area for the next 4 to 6 weeks. So before you place this last solution on, make sure that you're really happy with where these brows live, and then go ahead and saturate from root to end, making sure that you don't get it on any of the skin, and then again, sit for your desired time. And now I'm just brushing this off with a doe foot applicator. You can definitely push a little bit harder after this second solution is done, as you really want to make sure that you're getting all of those solutions off of the skin and brows. You don't want to cause any irritation, so definitely make sure that you are doing your due diligence, getting all of that solution off before you move on to any plucking or tweezing. I would not suggest waxing as the skin is going to be a little bit sensitive after this, so definitely just stick with cutting the hairs as well as tweezing. Here you can see I am going through, I already washed the brows with a little bit of water. My doe foot applicator was wet previously, so now I am going through with just a little bit of oil, and this is really great as it helps break down that adhesive so that all of that glue gets out of the brows and they don't feel sticky and hard anymore. And it also just gives them a little bit of moisturizer just so that they don't feel like they just got a chemical process done. This oil is amazing. This particular oil actually comes with our Lash Lift kit. It is our keratin booster, but it also works great for brows. So go ahead and check that out as we sell it individually as well. Here you can see I'm just brushing through the brows, and anywhere that my spoolie sticks, I know that there's still a little bit of glue left. So I just go back through with a little bit of oil and just make sure that my client is comfortable and that her brows are nice and glue free. Last up, I am just going through and plucking. I'm not plucking too much as my client really likes a full brow, but I'm just shaping as well as cutting a little bit on the very top to shape those really long brows. So here you can see this is a before. Her brows didn't have any shape and they were all pointing downward. And now you can see that they all have a beautiful upward motion. They all fall perfectly into place, and she can expect this to last for 4 to 6 weeks.